Hey, everybody. Welcome to the show, a very impromptu show because we did get the announcement today from VIPKid. So I thought I would jump on a quick live. I've never gone live on a Friday night for me, but I decided to just pop in and I wanted to talk about the update as well as some things that you can be doing as a VIPKid teacher over the next couple of weeks. It looks like we've got another 3 weeks with students. I wanted to dissect the email a little bit, the notice, and go over a couple of the FAQs. And if anybody has questions or has answers to some of the questions that I'm going to pose as I read through this, feel free to use the chat if you're here live. A big welcome to you if you're watching the replay. I will put timestamps below where you can skip and go past the introduction part or the time of the live when I usually chat with folks as they're coming in. So we will get started with everything in just a few minutes, but please do say hello. Let me know where you're tuning in from. How does this sit with you? I did hear this yesterday from a few VIPKid groups that this was happening. I had a parent send me a screenshot from the learning partner this morning as well, which verified that that VIPKid has made a decision. I don't know if they've made the decision or if the regulations made the decision for them, but different companies in different provinces were impacted in terms of timelines differently. And so, you know, this is what VIPKid is having to do. I think that Cindy Mee's announcement video letter on Monday was definitely, you know, foreshadowing what was coming up at the end of the week. And I think it was a fair play on a good play on her part to put that out there to teachers to, you know, just put teachers at ease. And also, you know, I think it's important that we hear from her and that she made that announcement, you know, letting teachers know that she was so sorry about what was going on and also understands how impactful this is for many of our livelihoods and many of our relationships with our lovely students. So I give a big hug to everybody as they're coming in. If you're feeling, you know, really mixed emotions about this, I feel you. I hear you. I've been a VIPKid teacher for 8 contracts now, so almost 4 years. And, you know, although I've known this has been happening since August, early August, VIPKid definitely dangled a carrot and kept us optimistic about what was coming. And a lot of us felt like we were going to be teaching for a long, long time, even though the regulations stated that we wouldn't be. So, yeah, you know, it's definitely hard to hear, and I feel for everyone that's impacted by this. Go ahead and answer that poll. I'd love to see what folks had said here. I see that, yeah, most people, good. Okay, so 43% have a plan for post VIPKid. 16% said no. 38% working on it. 3% what is VIPKid? Very interesting. Yeah. So go ahead and hit that poll. Answer that poll if you would. And if you are here, please do hit the like button. It really helps this video. So just look below the video, hit the like button. If you're not a subscriber, please become a subscriber. Would love to have you around. I'm not going anywhere. I'm continuing to make content about online ESL teaching and building your teaching business. So I'm excited about a lot of things coming up. And I'm also going through a time of transition and pivoting and figuring out, you know, how I want to replace that part of my income and, you know, what I'm going to do moving forward. So let's have a look at what folks are saying as they roll in. So, hey, David. Hey, Cindy. Jason, first one here. Hello, Facebook user. Hello, hello. If you want your name to show up, you do need to authenticate Facebook to allow your name. It should be under the live there. Hey, Janie, good to have you back. Hey, George, remember the 5th of November? Yeah. Frem76, did I miss an announcement email? Yeah, so the email actually, I haven't gotten the email, but I have the notice which came from the Hutong. And so we'll look at that. Hey, Jerica. Hey, Jenny. Hey, David's here from Canada. Good to have you. Cynthia. Hello, hello. Hey, Wendy. Hey, Margaret. They aren't closing, but mainland classes on November the 5th. That's right. Dana. Hey, just finished a lesson with one regular before reading about this latest development. I hope she's able to book a few last lessons. Yeah. Hello, Ursula, the bearded teacher. I think you're the one in Thailand, right? If I remember correct. I keep forgetting. Hey, Wendy, Julia. Oh, Ursula is also in Colombia. Very cool. Hey, Andrea. Andrea says, this is interesting. I'm a little relieved. I'm going to see how the global side of thing goes, but not banking on it, of course. Who feels relieved? Because I think that's a really Interesting comment. Part of me also feels relieved because at least now we know, and the end was inevitable with mainland students teaching, learning with foreign teachers, and this like perpetual not knowing can take a real drain on us mentally and emotionally. So yeah, there's a part of me that's relieved too, but a big part of me that's really sad because like it is now officially ending for sure. um Medellin, Colombia. Oh, I've always wanted to visit there. Lots of online digital nomads there. I'm in the middle of my mock class. What's going on? So with the Chinese regulations, VIPKid has had to, end their classes with foreign teachers, Ursula. So I know they are still hiring, and I would say if you're not too bothered about doing the mock class and they're offering that to you, go ahead and do it. I mean, it is available to you, and you will be able to at least be registered as a VIPKid teacher. I don't know what that's going to mean once the global platform happens. I don't know if VIPKid teachers are going to have an edge on getting into the global platform, or a part of me thinks that it's going to be a whole new hiring process, potentially. I don't know, but they've created the VIPKid Teacher Network, which I believe is network.vipkid.com, to kind of keep teachers engaged in the community. Hey, from Florida. Hey, Neil from Florida. Plenty of teaching opportunities in STEM. Yep. Mathematics for sure. More sad than relieved, Julia. Yeah, I feel you. I partially feel relieved, but now I'm stressed about the loss of income. Yeah, I mean, okay, so um, let's look at it for a second here. So let's jump over here, and I'll take myself off for a second. So basically, and I'm not going to read it from top to bottom, but I'll highlight a couple of things here. So they start out by saying that November the 5th is the last date that students in China, mainland China, will no longer be able to take MC courses, Starlight, and supplementary classes. And this is what you need to pay attention to. Parents will no longer be able to book those classes with foreign teachers outside of China after October 19th, 2021. And any MC, Starlight, or supplementary classes will still take place until November 5th, 2021. So the date is October 19th, where the classes have to be booked. So my initial question was about short notice, but I'm assuming that is a no, that if you want to teach beyond October 19th, then you will need to open up your classes in advance if you do short notice like I do. Or even if you do the normal booking frenzy. I wonder if that's going to mean that this coming Monday, if classes beyond those 2 weeks will be booked. Yeah, I don't know how that works. I haven't done the frenzy in like 3 years, so I'm not sure how that works. They've arranged goodbye e-cards. I did look. The goodbye e-cards are in the app, so you can send those to your students. I was kind of hoping that they would be editable, but no go on that. They are just templates. This doesn't mean an end to all teaching opportunities. And then they tell you about the global platform and the FAQs. They're very disheartened and sorry, of course. And this is what's happening. So, opportunities to teach online will continue in the near future. We have big plans to continue building our global classroom, and we will soon be making VIPKid classes available to students globally. When it's launched, we will be the first to know. So when I jumped over to their FAQ page, it does kind of go over some questions that you might have. And I just wanted to look at this one again. So starting the 5th, students cannot take those classes. Parents will no longer be able to book the classes after the 19th. Okay. So like so theoretically, if you opened from the 18th to the 5th, or any time from now, I would just open everything you can now until the 5th. Then you can get bookings after the 19th. Will parents be able to do it? Yes. Okay. Why did the timeline change? So it looked like they had sort of had different understandings about what it would look like, and that things kind of came down a lot harder, which I had predicted they would. I didn't think that this was just going to continue forever. We made our best efforts To allow students who purchase lessons to continue their learning, but to comply with the regulations, VIPKid has to end its class offerings with foreign teachers after all book classes are complete. So this is what's strange. Like, VIPKid has to end its class offerings with foreign teachers for K-12 students in mainland China after all booked classes are complete. Okay, so it doesn't mean that it doesn't mean paid classes. It means booked classes. So again, November the 5th. Remember the 5th of November. The booked classes are what have to be completed, but the paid classes that they have are going to be transferred into other things. Now, it does also say that there are refunds for parents. Where is this? I would go over the FAQs. It's good information, some of it, how to talk to parents about it. That it does say that they're going to be offered refunds and things like that. So yeah, and then talked about adult courses and global programs. So I think anybody can get involved with the global platform. My previous live on Monday, you can go and check out the links in the description of that video for that one. So there it is. You know, that's what's going on. Like, Brittany, I partially feel relieved, but now I'm stressed. Yeah. Andrea, it mentally took a toll on me, and I had at least 40 regulars and couldn't leave myself. Yeah, it's hard to leave. I mean, I think what's nice about this 3 weeks, so that's what it is. It's 3 weeks from today that we have for classes. I thought it was 2, but I looked on the calendar before the live, and it is 3 full weeks. November 5th is a Friday. So we have 3 weeks, guys, to teach the classes that we have and that we're going to get booked for, and to really have good goodbyes with our students. I think good goodbyes are really important and are so essential for closure for us and for our students. So I wanted to talk a little bit about that, what you can be doing with your students in classes over the next few weeks, and have those conversations with students about, you know, when is our last, especially with your regulars, you may already know, but ask them, when is our last class together? You know, I would love to make it special for you, and I would love to know when when we get to say goodbye to each other. And I think it's easy to avoid it and just pretend that the class is the last class, but I think it's even better if you can actually acknowledge it and say, hey, let's face this, it's our last time together. But, you know, and you can say really nice things to the student about what you have loved about teaching them and how you've seen them grow, and, you know, just have a proper goodbye. I had a couple of parents this week filming me in the background of the class, and I had this sense that it was our last class. But at the very end of the class, I was about to say goodbye, and I thought, no, I'm going to ask, because it just felt like it was the last class. You know, the parent was filming, the little sister was standing there watching, my little student was just kind of looking at me, and I said, you know, is this our last class together? And the mom said, yes, this is our last class. So it gave me a nice, you know, 30 seconds to say how much I appreciated them taking classes with me. I think almost 100 over the last few years. And I thought that was really, you know, and I felt really good about that afterwards, rather than just closing the camera and pretending that it doesn't exist. Kelly's from Indiana. I'm sad too that we will no longer be able to see our Chinese kiddos. Yeah, for sure. Hey, Anthony, relieved to know the date. It allows us to move forward and hopefully plan better to convert students over to private classes. Also, I'm looking forward to doing something on OutSchool. Very cool. Yeah, you've got some great things going on. So we'll talk about a few of those things. And I just was jotting down some things that I'm going to do over the next few weeks in preparation. And I want to make sure that I don't know what's going to happen to the platform. So some things I would suggest are to go into your platform and take screenshots of different things that, you know, you've accomplished. Maybe it's screenshots of feedback. And also, if you have feedback in there that you haven't responded to, this is a great communication with the parents. You can respond to the feedback, let them know if you want to stay in touch, give them your email address, your WeChat ID, anything like that. So I'm using my feedback to be able to respond to parents if I haven't seen that student in a while, or maybe if for whatever reason I don't see them in the next few weeks. Take screenshots of your certifications, take screenshots of your accomplishments. The VIPKid provides a lot of data about the number of students you've taught. You know, all those things are great for a website or for marketing your classes in the future if you'd like to. It shows really great evidence of, you know, what you've accomplished on the VIPKid platform. As well, in your app, your VIPKid app, you do have a section for moments. So if you go, you may not even know that it's there, but if you go into accounts and then you go down to moments there, you'll see video clippings of you teaching. Now, it allows you to share it on various social media like Facebook and I think Twitter and things like that. But you could screenshot or you could even screen record them from your phone if you wanted to and save them as little video clips. So that's another idea of something that you can do. I'd spend your tokens as well. I've got lots of tokens to spend, but it doesn't look like the token center is full of stuff at the moment. Yes, Carl, could this be a precursor? For sure. Like Data, Magic Ears, if they haven't, yeah, I don't know why they haven't closed yet. I'm not sure what's going on with them. But VIPKid I thought was going to be the one hanging in there until the end. Good job, Andrea. Got a lot of students, a lot of parents on WeChat. So, okay, controversial, unpopular topic by some. If this is not for you, disregard it. But if you want to stay in touch with your students, there's absolutely nothing wrong with expressing that to them. And so the way I would do that is in your upcoming classes, if you know that things are coming to an end and it's your last class with the student or last few classes with the student, I would say something like in your class, you know, hey, I would love to stay in touch with you. I know that we're not going to be able to have classes together on VIPKid. Would you like to stay in touch? Would you like to have my contact? And you can share your email address. You can share your WeChat ID. If you're not a WeChat user and you've struggled with getting on the on that app, don't worry about it. There's other ways of communicating. There's Ding Talk, which is another app that you can use. But email is a great one. So get their email address. It's a great way to stay in touch, and leave those contact points as well for your student in the chat box and in the feedback. And someone asked me a few days ago, what would be kind of a not so forceful way of sharing your WeChat ID. And a tip that I've shared before is print out your WeChat ID on A4 paper, stick it behind you in your classroom. And that can be a way that parents can scan your WeChat if you've got it nice and large up behind you. Or if you use ManyCam or any digital stuff like that, you could pop it up as an image and parents know exactly what to do with that. So, yeah, and it's funny. I've got a student outside of China tomorrow who's got a class with me, and so I was also kind of wondering about those students, the ones outside of China. It looks like those can continue, and in the FAQs, it also says that students or teachers in mainland China can continue teaching their students. So VIPKid teachers that live in China, you're not affected by this at all. So I don't know how many students are going to be taking live classes, because they're pushing all of them to go over to the AI recorded classes. So have that conversation with parents and bring them onto your contacts. I would also love for you to join my Facebook group, which is called Going Solo. And I'm doing a challenge. It's not next week. It might be towards the end of next week. I haven't completely said it yet. But I really want to go over some key decisions that you need to make as an independent teacher with your Chinese students if you are wanting to teach privately. And so get in that group and you'll be able to access the lives completely for free and to get some real progress made on what can seem like a very overwhelming endeavor, as many of you are going to have parents asking you about private classes. Just today, I had 4 former students send me messages about private classes. So are you ready with the answers that they're going to ask you? Are you thinking along those lines? If this is not something that you want to do, then prepare something to say. If you want to just have that final goodbye and that be it, and you're moving on to other things, great. But, just be prepared, because parents are going to be asking. And if you are prepared and you do have something set up, then you will have, a lot of other parents interested in your classes as well. So I'll be diving into more specific things about WeChat in the Facebook group. So if you can't find that group, go to the description link of the video and it'll be down there under my Facebook group. It is linked there. So I'd love to have you join there if you are looking for support in that area, because now is the time to make those decisions and to start working towards that, because there are 3 weeks left. And that is a fact. We can finally say that is actually happening. This is, Jonathan, 100% a government policy. This is not a business decision. This has impacted students all over China and foreign teachers all over the world. It has been rolling out since August. So let's have a look here. Cynthia, hello. Just pour some more water. I'm so parched today. I don't know why. And I'm actually not even feeling that great. But I wanted to pop in and just hang out with my VIPKid friends. 2 master's degree, 1 in elementary ed. I've also got a doctorate in music. Wonderful. I want to create my own classes for all school and out school. I don't know how to create digital lessons. I can use PowerPoint and Zoom. That's all I know. What should I study? This is holding me back. Well, I would say, you're definitely going on the right route of creating self-made classes and thinking about that's an important decision to make. I would definitely say that actually creating the lessons itself or the what you're delivering is not always necessarily the most challenging part, because once you know what you're teaching and who you're teaching, then it's just a case of pulling in a few resources. It doesn't have to be an elaborate PPT file. Sometimes it could just be a few little things that you use in the class, especially for a platform like OutSchool, where, depending on what type of classes you're teaching, not all teachers even use a PowerPoint for the lessons. So it's once you get clear on what you're teaching and who you're teaching, then being very specific in that, then the rest really will fall into place. You won't have that much trouble. But you can use absolutely PowerPoint, Google Drive. Nearpod is a wonderful application that is web-based that you can use with your students. It's more interactive and engaging, and you can pull, PDFs and videos and images and activities into Nearpod. Let's just go up here and have a look. Todd. Is it really 3 weeks, though? Parents won't be able to book the first week of November until the 25th. Seems like November will just be existing monthly. So, good point. Now, because I haven't actually done Frenzy advanced bookings in a while, I wondered that too. Is it still 2 weeks? So, if you open up on Monday the 18th, are you only going to be able to get bookings 2 weeks out? So that last week or that first week of November, is that only going to be for those that have booking requests? I think so. Good question. Anne says, if mom is near, I share my WeChat ID. If not, I had the kids write a note to their mom and spelled out the words for them. WEC. Yeah, there you go. Very cool. Yeah, Carl says that's true. How will Chinese students, I'm so sorry if I didn't get to your comment or question, ask me again. They sometimes go by and get buried. How will Chinese students be able to take private classes? Won't the government be monitoring it there? No, I've been teaching private students for several years. As of right now, the policy really only dictates companies and language institutions in China. So there's nothing stopping, an adult in China paying for services from an adult outside of China. This happens in all different types of industries every day. And so, no, there's nothing that's preventing you from doing that on a small scale. If you start marketing on a big scale and create a big business out of this, then there might be red flags because, the government is putting stops in place to prevent this happening on a big scale. So, but no, if you've just got a handful of students, this is, very doable. And that's my opinion. Again, some people don't agree with me. Do we need permission to use Nearpod for a profit-based business? No. Do we have copyright permission to use Nearpod on OutSchool? Yeah, absolutely. Nearpod is just like PowerPoint, right? So it's not, it's not like you're using someone else's curriculum. You can absolutely use Nearpod on OutSchool. You just share it. You can even give the students access to it so that they can jump into the Nearpod app as well with the code. Yeah. Doesn't work so well with Chinese students, but the rest of the world, yes. Teaching weekends seems so verbatim. Zebra English was doing the same thing until they couldn't anymore. Yeah. Hey, Courtney. Yeah. Okay. So I talked about some things you could do there. My Facebook group, we're going to be going over some key decisions and a little challenge next week, towards the end of next week, and would love to have you join that. If you are looking for one-on-one coaching with me, I am still offering that through November, and you can find that link at coaching.onlineteacherdude.com. It's right here, and we can go over, really helping you make some more of those decisions and help you get on the right track and give you an action plan moving forward with accountability. So I am offering a few of those throughout the week over the next several weeks. And I will be keeping up to date with all things related to this over the next few weeks. But, having this date does give at least me a little bit of peace of mind and some closure, and 3 weeks to, have closure with my students and to, I guess, close the chapter on VIPKid, which has been, as far as we know it, I know it is going into different directions, hopefully, but as far as we know it with our wonderful Chinese students, it is coming to an end. Let's have a look here if I got everybody's comments here. Nearpod is amazing. Yep. Hello, Marie. I don't know why Palfish is still doing weekends and evenings. I don't know if maybe are they based outside of China or somehow, or circumventing the rules somehow. It's very, very strange. Let's see here. I think I got everybody. Okay. Yeah. So how are you doing? How, let us know if you are just watching and you'd like to engage in the chat. Definitely sad. I'm certainly feeling it, just thinking about, I've taught 997 students as of today. I'm just 3 away from 1,000. I really wanted to, maybe I'll get a few new students over the next few weeks, but, it's been just such an incredible journey. I built my YouTube channel around VIPKid and talking about getting hired with VIPKid. And I've helped over 350 teachers successfully start teaching with VIPKid, and have been creating videos every week for about 3 years about not just VIPKid, but, lots of online teaching companies. So it's the end of an era. It was an amazing thing. What we all did as teachers was an incredible opportunity, and something that I wouldn't take lightly. You impacted the lives of children in China. Amazing. Halfway across the world for many of us. VIPKid allowed a window for students into our lives, and a window for us into their lives, where we got to celebrate with them, to laugh with them, to cry with them, to help them with their English, of course, but so many other things. And many of us have built relationships with their families. We have regular students that we've taught hundreds of times. I have my student Carrie, who I think I'm up to 380 classes with him, and he's been with me for almost the entire time, and he's now on level 8, almost coming to the end of the entire curriculum. Started with me on level 3. So, take some time to reflect on, what you've accomplished, what you've learned, how you've grown. Maybe you learned how to be on video with confidence. Maybe you learned how to use technology. Maybe you learned, how to teach. Many of us came into VIPKid not even being teachers, and this was like a new career for so many of you. So, when you really reflect on that, it's amazing how far you've come. Maybe you've only been on the platform for a few months. And this is all like a massive shock and disappointment. And I feel your pain. I really, really do. Maybe you've been here for 8, 9, 10 contracts, and you're absolutely devastated because you've poured your heart and soul into this company, and it's not all for nothing. It isn't going to waste. The skills that you've learned will transfer into something else, or into another opportunity, or into another industry or whatever. So take time to reflect on it and just appreciate and enjoy the journey that you've had, that we've all had. And I hope we all stay in touch. And my channel will continue to be about online teaching with various companies, marketplaces, self-made classes, and teaching independently while building your teaching business. And that's really what I'm passionate about. I love helping teachers to think beyond just online teaching. I started doing that a couple of years ago in my own business. Didn't really understand it to be a business back then, but I looked at making other income streams, and I'm grateful to have those, because now with the loss of VIPKid, it's not a huge loss to everything. I won't have to go back to brick and mortar teaching because I've made other income streams, made relationships with students, and have built up a private teaching business, as well as an online brand where I'm able to help and support others. So anything is possible for you, and now is a great time to maybe think about putting those dreams into reality that you've always had. Sometimes tragedy or big sudden change is what we need to help us to move forward. So yeah, gosh, I am so parched. I can't drink enough water. You know what it is? I ate a pizza earlier at a restaurant, and must have been really salty or something, but I can barely talk. So yeah. Thank you, Kelly. Appreciate you. Thanks so much. Yeah, lots of new students. Oh, I know, lots of new students last month trying to get their classes in. You're right. I have never seen so many old students. I mean, I went a few days once where every class I was saying, when was our last class? And I was looking on Feedback Panda, which makes me wonder what's going to happen to, does anyone use Feedback Panda here? I guess you'll be able to, I don't know I was thinking about them. They sold for, don't quote me. You can look it up on Google, but there is an article about what Feedback Panda sold for to, they sold the SaaS company, the software as a service. And it was something in the millions. But I haven't really heard much from them lately. I kind of wonder what they're going to do with the Chinese companies ending. I know, I guess I'll be able to end my $14 a month monthly payment to them, but that's also someone that's going to be very impacted. Yeah, so many students coming back to say goodbye for sure. Thank you, Andrea. Yeah, remind me again what your son's name is. Is he watching? Thank you, MC. Don't know your real name, but glad to have you here. Glad you're hoping to teach in the future. Yeah, stick around. Look, I'm always, when I hear of companies and really believe in them, I share them. So there's I've done a video last week about one, and I've got some videos about non-Chinese ESL companies as well. And, things like that. So I'm always trying to think about what would be helpful for you guys. And I'm quite in touch with lots of different companies. And so, happy to feature if non-Chinese companies is something that you're looking for, then I can help you with that. So yes, Edward. Hello, Edward. It is Teacher Dude here. That's so cute. I'll always remember that, Andrea. Yeah, Cindy, your videos have been incredibly helpful. Thank you so much. Thank you, Cindy. Yeah, we'll have another hoorah, goodbye VIPKid maybe on the last day. I would really love to get some teachers on the show to chat and share. And I'm also kind of thinking about a video project for, teachers to be able to send me some messages. I haven't quite thought that one through, so don't hold me to it, but I'm thinking about something that would involve the teaching community, where I could make a sort of video highlighting some, just classroom moments and things like that. And I would encourage you to do that as well. If you've never made a video, what a great time to do that. If you're inclined to take maybe some of your class clips, go back into those. That's another thing. Go back into those old classes. Go back and watch your very first VIPKid class. I promise you, it's worth every minute to watch that class. Oh my goodness. It's just amazing. It is really what existed for us on this platform was amazing and life-changing for those kiddos and for us in so many ways. People say, oh, how could you ever work for a company? They pay no money and blah, 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 and things like that. But, it was a special experience. It was able to bring, worlds together and make an impact. And I think that's what's so important, is to remember you made an impact. You made a massive impact on the lives of those students, and allow yourself to grieve and be sad and cry and say those goodbyes and move on if that's what you're doing. But, it was a really special thing what we had. Who is Melissa Misty Costello? Oh, I've seen her. She's done videos on YouTube before. I think she runs a Facebook group, maybe. Yeah. She managed to leak the information. Oh, was it her? Okay. There might have been people that were in different groups that maybe heard this before. Not really sure. I did see some screenshots, but I decided not to do anything with it until I actually saw it officially, because things can change pretty quickly. Apologies for the zebra English reference. I don't know what you mean. What's to working weekends and nights? They were skirting the regulation. A question: do you think VIPKid is pushing this in order to get parents into AI classes? No, I don't think so. Personally, I think that this is coming from the government for sure. I mean, the writing was on the wall for all companies. It was just a matter of time. So no, I don't think that they're necessarily making this decision. No, that's what I think. I took last week off to get my private tutoring business set up, and I have already landed one deal. Yes, awesome job, Mary. Congrats to you. We're all cheering you on. Awesome. It starts with one. You know what I mean? It starts with one, and it can build. So yeah, that's the challenge, is to get everything set up so that you have everything in place to have that first student. Bob's, this is sad for people who use it for their main income. Absolutely. As much as I tried, I never had many bookings anyway. 764 days and only 26 classes. Surely you weren't opening classes every day for 764 days though. Wow. That's like 2 years. Yeah. I mean, a lot of teachers kind of would have given up after a few months of not having classes. I can understand that. There were definitely ebbs and flows with VIPKid. You could see it in the Facebook groups, where bookings are tanking for everybody. They're hiring lots of teachers. Everyone's on summer break. Where are the bookings? It kind of went like this. And in the beginning, it was easy for new teachers to get classes. When I got hired at the end of 2017, it was like easy. I mean, I literally was hired on Monday, and I opened classes for Tuesday, and I was booked immediately. So for me, it was fast. I know it wasn't fast for a lot of people when they were really in their hiring glory days. My gosh, they were pushing recruiting so much in especially 2019. I would say 2018 to 19. And that's when I really got into recruiting teachers. That was the big 2 years of hiring, and a lot of teachers did struggle in the beginning with bookings, but it did end up happening eventually. It just took time. Yes, teacher LaShawn, they helped to develop my skills so much. I appreciate VIPKid. I still use those skills on other platforms. Very cool. And that's what I love, so true. They really did help us develop skills. And think about all those workshops that we were able to go to as well. Okay, confession, ready? I've never been to a workshop. Some teachers would go to all of the workshops, and I think, geez, one of these days I would like to go to a workshop, but I never went to one single workshop. Yeah, that's my confession. Hey, Pamela, you can watch the replay. Hello from Hungary. I'm a bit relieved because no more secrets and guessing. Just hope things get better. I also started with Cambly, so I will be using both companies for an income. Awesome job. Great job getting on with Cambly. 2017 to 19 was peak for Wales. Okay. Kim never went. Confessions, never went to a workshop either. Hey, that's what we should do. There's I can't remember her name. There's an Instagram teacher named VIPKid Confessions. Yeah. Anyway, if you've got VIPKid Confessions, put them in here now. Are you someone that never prepped for a class, or, I don't know. I should do a VIPKid Confessions video, actually. That would be funny. I just started with, hey, just love. I just started at VIPKid in July. I'm not a teacher by trade, and I don't have any confidence in my teaching abilities because it's all so new. I don't know where to go from here. Well, are you getting any classes? And there are cute cat alert. There are other platforms that you can look at that are non-Chinese. The pay is not as great. But using a company is a great way to build up your confidence. Hey, Melissa, good to see you too. At Melissa Teaches Online on Instagram. Yes, I know who you are. You just got hired with All School, right? Very cool. I'd love to chat with you about that, about the process for you. VIPK was my first time working since 2008 because of a disability. I've been with them since 2019. I got hired by Litera, Amplify, N Square, NGU. Whoa, I never even heard of those. I've heard of NGU, but not the other ones. Yeah, VIPKid enabled people to do so many things, to travel, to pay off loans, to, really an incredible opportunity. So if you're still here hanging in, please hit the like button. That would be so appreciated. And again, I will just share my Facebook group for those that have just popped in. It's called Going Solo. The link is in the description of this live. And I am going to be helping you over the next couple of weeks to get some of those key decisions made for you if you are going to teach your students privately and build your own business. So we would love to have you join us in that group. It's now grown to well over 1,500. So lots of teachers in there. And, I have lots of plans to make it a more supportive place with great resources. A reading tutoring. Has anyone heard of Now? It's NAONOW. I'll stick that one in there. I'm hearing good things about that one as well. And I did mention them on actually a live show, but I don't know much about them. Kelly, I never really prepped for classes. Confession, me too. I read over the slides, but that was about it. Well, honestly, after about 6 months, I never read over the slides because it just, once you've taught them several times, you get the flow and the rhythm, and I was really good at thinking on my feet. So I never needed to. Never had any bad feedback about that either. The last date is November the 5th. Parents cannot book classes after the 19th. So before the 19th, make sure you open up all the way to November 5th. Hopefully you get some bookings, but it's going to decrease by a lot over the next couple of weeks. Don't expect a full schedule, but hopefully you can see some students one more time. Okay, very cool. Well, we've been on here for a long time. Thanks everybody for joining, and just wanted to create a supportive place here on my channel to talk about the news today about VIPKid ending, and to give you some advice, encouragement, and support. That's what it's all about. Love you all, and thank you for tuning in. Thank you for supporting this channel. Thank you for engaging with this channel and hitting the like button and subscribing and watching the videos. I so appreciate all of you, and I really mean that. I really am thinking about all of you today as this news comes out. And if you need to get in touch with me, you can find me at OnlineTeacherDude on Instagram, or you can shoot me an email. I would love to see you in all those places. So thanks again for being here, everyone. Have a wonderful Friday and a good start to the weekend. Even though this is sad news, let's turn it around into something positive. Have those good goodbyes. Bring closure to what was the most amazing opportunity for many of us to be able to work on this platform. And I'm so grateful for it. And so just have a great day. Have a great weekend. And I'll see you next week.